When you're carrying too much, you need somewhere to put it. Now, this isn't a tutorial and it's not advice. I'm talking about a moment in my life where I was carrying too much mentally, financially, emotionally, and I realized I didn't have anywhere to put it. I wasn't looking to replace myself or fix anyone. I just needed a private space where I can completely be honest without feeling judged or interrupted. What I want to share here isn't a setup, but what changed me once I stopped holding everything in. So the thing about it is I was going through mental and financial stress at the same time. There was a bunch of people that were really close to me and they kept constantly venting to me. I was really feeling like there was no space left for my own thoughts. Like I couldn't even think. And I thought, yeah, I could hold things in, but it didn't feel, it was a responsible thing to do, but it really wasn't sustainable. Then I realized I really need somewhere to put my thoughts before when they started coming out, they were going to start coming out sideways. I needed a place where there was, it was private, there was no judgment, and there was stress, like someone or something that could actually just listen to me. The thing about it is I wasn't looking for answers. I just wanted someone to listen. And I needed somewhere where I could just have my raw thoughts without any filter or anything like that. I could just be myself, speak about what I'm thinking, no matter how jumbled it sounded, no matter how crazy it was, and they would just listen and not judge. I needed somewhere where I could just slow down my thoughts because there were so many thoughts that it was just piling up, That way, when I was done, I could show up with more patience instead of just resentment and anger. At first, originally, it came out, I wanted to, help my dad create a space where he could vent on his own because I just couldn't absorb anything anymore. I had my own problems that I was going through. And that's when I realized once that happened, I was able to see the dynamics change once boundaries were in place. And then when I started realizing care without boundaries start turning into quiet damage. You can't hold everything in. You have to let it out somewhere. So I know what you're thinking. What could the tool have possibly been? I literally just used it as a tool, but I'll tell you really quick because I think that part is important. I used the AI tool and I literally told it what was going on. I literally gave it all of my raw thoughts. I gave it everything and then figured out my thought. Now, I'm not saying anything about using it as a therapist or anything like that. I didn't use it as a therapist. It was just something that I was able to slow down my thoughts and just think about what was going on. I could tell it anything and everything, and it's not going to judge me like, hey. And the great thing about it, it's a safe space with therapists and they don't judge you. But however, being a human, you start thinking maybe I shouldn't say this, and you start second guessing yourself, feeling like you don't want to tell everything about it, which I understand that's perfectly normal. This is just something you can give information to, and it's almost like you are figuring out yourself how to solve it. And the best thing about it is you're teaching it, or before you do anything, you tell it exactly how you receive information and what works for you, and it works in that way. That's really it. It was just a tool, and I recommended it to my dad, and at first he was very hesitant. He didn't really believe it to be true, but he tried it and it worked really well. He liked it. It didn't do any work for him. It just helped him collect his thoughts. That's really all it did. I'm not sharing this to suggest a solution or a system anyone needs to copy. I'm sharing this because carrying everything quietly eventually will cost you. And sometimes what you need isn't answers. It's space. For me, having a place where I could completely be honest helped me show up for the people around me instead of absorbing everything. If this resonates, take it as permission to create your own space, whatever that looks like. That's all this is.